topics a little bit. Matt, you've been, I guess, going back to a little bit what we talked about earlier, you've been following the game Stonks and Robinhood's story pretty closely, watching the Senate hearings and sharing updates in your podcast. What surprised you most about the situation, or didn't surprise you?
Nothing surprised me, and when I say that, it's not that I had the ability to predict what will happen or anything like that. I didn't know about, I didn't hear about Wall Street bets up until a few months ago. I didn't I didn't know about GameStop as a stock. But if you start breaking down all the components of everything that happened, everything just took place in a different medium. Let me give you an example, right? So they're saying GameStop was just this bubble that was inflated. Okay, so let's go back 500 years to the days of the tulips in the Netherlands, when there was a flower at some point that traded, the price got to a price of a castle, right? And that was speculation. That was before, I'm sure you heard of the tulip, right? So,
Yeah.
the tulip hype. Okay, so there was no Twitter 400 years ago. There was no Reddit. There was nothing. If you look at recent history, just let's bring it a little bit recent, not that recent. We weren't alive at the time, but the crash of 1929, when everybody was on stocks, crash of 82, the dot-com crash. So essentially the medium has changed to a forum, so people, before they were discussing it at work, one-to-one, it just moved to a different podium, but that podium is much larger. The podium is much larger, right? That's what it is, right? So, the problem that we have in the industry today, in every single industry, is that people coming to us misinformed. They're coming to us misinformed, whether it's in forex or whether it's in futures or any asset class, right? So when you have such a large podium of people talking, clearly it will attract a lot of people who are trying to, I don't want to call them greedy, but they're really trying to capitalize on what's going on. And they have, the syndrome of FOMO, fear of missing out, right? So do I think this is surprising that it happened in the days of people putting Lamborghinis on, from trading, from Lamborghinis on Instagram and Twitter accounts and everything else? It's just ridiculous. It just, it has become ridiculous of what people promote out there as trading. And so the direction was there long before that. The direction of this happened before that with all those promotions. People who were innocent enough, not understanding the risks of the market, fear of missing out, all this talking, combined with, a brokerage that promotes, no commissions. So all those variables and components together, led to this. But again, if you break down every single component, you will realize that, those things is just taking place in a different manner. So in the .com, you used to call your broker and say, buy me this .com, even if it had negative growth. I want to go in. Everybody's in it. That's what it is. That's how bubbles usually look like. So when this happened, I didn't look at it and I said, oh my God, this is so different. No, it just took place in a different medium, in a different